Like in the show, you know, it's funny. People ask me what I think about the actual program, and I watch the program. I can't say, like I said, I'm always more interested in what other people think about the program because I myself, I'm not in love with television narratives. I have to say, I'm really the person who would fall into the last category, people who study the industry and its role in the city. I enjoy the program. I have a friend in women's studies who thinks that the portrayal of women is appalling. I've talked to other women who think it's really great. I mean, what do you think? I mean, have you had a thought about it?
I think that, in the beginning, the strongest woman was LaDonna, who has a bar in Treme and who is the only woman, our bar owner in America, who didn't have a gun when she left the bar. And so instead of being the strong woman, she's raped and basically becomes, a victim. So, but she's not the only. I mean, as much as one loves Phyllis Montana, and she's tremendous. I mean, what a stereotypical black woman role is that? So I have some really bad feelings about some of the roles. It was very interesting what you were talking about, the neoliberalism, because in fact, when we're talking about Annie, the good girl musician, because she is doing exactly that, right? Her boyfriend had been the rogue. And look what happened to him, he's on a shrimp boat. So I found that very interesting. Also the fact that New Orleans be characterized as post-traumatized, which I don't believe. I think we're still traumatized.
I didn't hear what you said.
She thinks we're still traumatized.
We're not post-traumatized.
Oh, no.
They scratch people and it's trauma.
Yeah, no, I probably misspoke there. I mean,
people
talk about it in terms of trauma on TV and trauma is ongoing.
I do like the notion, and I do like the notion that that's how Treme is presented. That because everybody who wasn't here during Katrina just about thinks that we are post-traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the whole first series with the Treme Association, and that was very awesome at Charbonnet. And when they quit doing it, I had to go to the country club, and then I couldn't keep my eyes on what I was supposed to be watching. When John Bouthe was singing "Sisters" to his sisters, I'm like, oh my God! So anyway, so I do not have HBO, and I cannot wait. And think that it is horrible that they waited this long to finally release the series. But you have to know, if you hang around in every neighborhood in New Orleans, that there is one Phyllis Montana out there. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Well, sure.
And there is there's the lady that is Davis's auntie, the Martini lady, and then Ramona. There's a Ramona out there. And they're all stereotypical, but if you just took a little slice of different communities, and then one of the smartest women that there are is the young woman, the John Goodman's daughter, the blogger. And I think that she is like totally, women's activist. I mean, she is just like what I would want my daughter to be. And very, very smart too. So, I just think
Don't they have one to Newman or something like that?
What?
To Lusher.
I gotta stop watching it. And
Yeah.
I'll be watching it again really soon. As soon as I have the opportunity.
She's damaged, and then she becomes the good girl, and it's the individualism and capitalism.
But sitting around watching it with the Treme Association, Clark Peters came in, and Daryl Montana, and Sabrina, and just a lot of different people came in to just stop by and watch it, and then we talked about it. The last episode of the first series, nobody could say anything. We were just so choked up because it was the flashback of what were all the characters do when Katrina happened.
Where's Ashley?
Nobody could say anything. We were just sitting there, just, you know, so, yeah, it is true. I think that it would be very optimistic to think that.
Do you know why they stopped that?
I don't know. They were selling like 50-cent popcorn and dollar Cokes. I don't think they made very much money for their association doing it that way.
But it was packed, right? Because I'm sure about this. I mean,
it was wonderful.
yeah.
It was wonderful. And then somebody says, you don't mind doing that? It's like, no, because, I mean, you know, I've served Kerwin James' funeral at the Second Line Umbrellas and, you know all those people out there. And, you know, had Phil Frazier's mom and Kerwin James' mom come up to me. And, oh, yes, I'm an extra on Treme also. So it is the very nicest one that every single person wants to work on Treme. And they're a little bit choosy about how they put people together, and they said, we want people that were there the night that Glenda Andrews got brought to jail. Okay, so I said, I was there. Well, they didn't really believe it too much. You know, they thought that was kind of strange. But Mrs. Frazier came up and said she was glad that I was there, and I thought that was very nice because she's Rebirth Breast Band's mother. And said I was just wondering how they were going to do it. You know, like, I'm glad that you're here. And like, that meant the more to me than, you know, they do. They treat us really well compared to all the other productions that come to New Orleans. Treme does very well. And the neighbors in Treme do not complain because you'll get $100 or $200 to let those trucks park in front of your house, and to have you get paid $100 if you're next door, and then you get paid $100. Everybody gets paid $100.
Doesn't work that way in Bywater.
Well, somebody's not asking. Somebody's not asking. They do. They're very nice to the people in the neighborhood.
I'm glad that happens in Treme. I think that's nice.
Isn't that
I mean,
nice?
there are some nice connections for us. I mean, everybody's so proud of the city. And to be so hurt by Katrina that we're able to project something as a positive about New Orleans is some kind of virtual therapy. However, the problems with it, you know, become a little more, you know, it's not about just those people feeling a little better or it's like, yeah, sometimes they get the accent wrong. They have. And, I mean, those kind of things that are in there. But also the people in the political struggle. I don't think they're that well depicted. I mean, I think the political struggle that happened under Katrina is almost not there. In fact,
Well,
the
it's not there
dynamic
at all.
of power, the issue of power in the city is like not there. I mean, it's, you know, it's incredible to me because so much of what happens.
What about the guy in the first issue, in the first season?
Which one?
The young guy that came from out of town, and I think he got killed in the end, I can't remember, but he came and he was like a mover and a shaker, and he was,
Oh yeah, the
you know, he was moving his way up and dealing with the powers that be, and
Oh, the guy
I
from
mean,
Texas?
everybody,
Yeah.
The Latino guy.
Right.
yeah, everybody in
Interesting.
Treme, I mean, what strikes me about it is that I haven't been here that long either. I've only been here 4 years, but you know, like I knew Ashley, who's the person that one of the people anyway, that they base John Goodman's character on, and 90% of his dialogue is Ashley's blog. And you know, Ashley had 4 little kids, and he died of a heart attack at his mother's funeral, who really wasn't his mother, she was his grandmother, and so it was kind of like a Jack Nicholson story, but they left that out, and they made him have a teenage daughter, but it basically is Ashley. And so when I watched it, it was like seeing Ashley, and you know, the chef, I mean, we all know who she is, and you know, the stories that happen are pretty true. And I mean, Simon did that in Baltimore, and the mayor of Baltimore is now the governor of Baltimore, and he has taken away the tax incentive for the film industry because he was pissed at John Goodman for not portraying Baltimore as a peaceful, wonderful crime